Hi.
So I was going to ask, are we on?
We're on. The music stopped. I was busy doing something else. It's just that sort of day.
That's an understatement.
How have you been?
I was doing pretty good, and now I know why I have been not watching television with the COVID. Just in the past hour, I've made about 12 notes.
So you've been
So,
catching up.
yeah.
So you've
Cheapers.
got more notes than I do.
That was just the past hour. That's the scary part.
Yeah, it's
Hello,
not
never in,
hard.
Erin.
Hey, Never in Aaron. How are you? It is good to see you.
When Big Giant Head gets in here, we have to ask him what he means by whatever's happening will end very quickly. He said that this afternoon on
He
Club
did say
Brainpod.
it this afternoon. We should
Mhm.
ask
I
him
said I'd
about
wait.
that. So shall
Did
we
you
start out with the Alt National Parks post that I saw?
go for it?
So the national parks has an alt account that
Mhm.
they created on Facebook that they created during the first Trump administration.
The first time they were all going to get torn down
Hmm.
and sold.
And so it's been here ever since. Today, as of 5 hours ago, so this is long, but I'm going to read it. In early March, a group of Musk affiliated staffers from the so called Department of Government Efficiency arrived at the National Labor Relations Board, the federal agency responsible for protecting workers' rights and handling union disputes. They claimed their mission was to improve efficiency and cut costs. But what followed raised serious alarms inside the agency. Once DOGE engineers were granted access to the NLRB's systems, internal IT staff quickly realized something was wrong. Normally, any user given access to sensitive government systems is monitored closely. But when IT staff suggested tracking DOGE activity, standard cybersecurity protocol, they were told to back off. Soon after, DOGE installed a virtual system inside the agency's servers that operated in secret. This system left no logs, no trace of its activity, and was removed without a record of what had been done. Then large amounts of data began disappearing from the system. This wasn't routine data, it included sensitive information on union strategies, ongoing legal cases, corporate secrets, and even personal details of workers and officials. None of it had anything to do with cutting costs or improving efficiency. It simply wasn't supposed to leave the NLRB under any circumstance. Almost immediately after the Doge accounts were created, login attempts began from a Russian IP address. These weren't random hacks. Whoever it was had the correct usernames and passwords. The timing was so fast, it suggested that credentials had either been stolen, leaked, or shared. Security experts later said that if someone wanted to hide their tracks, they wouldn't make themselves look like they were logging in from Russia. This wasn't just sloppy, it was bold, calculated, and criminal. One of the NLRB's IT staffers documented everything and submitted a formal disclosure to Congress and other oversight bodies. But instead of being protected, he was targeted. A threatening note was taped to his door revealing private information and overhead drone photos of him walking his dog. The message was clear: stay silent. He didn't, he went public. So,
It,
this isn't just a cybersecurity issue,
hmm,
it's a coordinated attempt To infiltrate.
Yeah, and I think it's a distraction.
From what?
2025. It could be that simple. I mean, because like they said, if they were really doing it clandestinely, you wouldn't know they did it. So they did it on purpose. They put it out there
Right.
on purpose. They want to distract us. So we think that they're taking our information, which honestly, at this point, anybody who thinks that their information is secret before Orange Guy got in office
I've got
really
a clip. I've got a clip about that for this evening. Hello,
okay.
Adam.
I
I've got
mean,
a Yeah, you're right. Nothing is secret. There is no secrecy.
not at all. Never has been, probably never will be. So it's like, I guess I'm tainted from having the dad be a three-letter acronym to know that no, it's all just smoke and mirrors to think that we're quote unquote safe. That shouldn't even we everybody knows anything they want to. So I've never had any like thought that anybody's information was private.
Right.
The only thing that would probably be private is money. Probably it. It's probably a private bank, they probably have that information, like, secure beyond all get-go, but everything else, no.
Adam
So,
says it means there will be an implosion.
what does "it will end very quickly" mean, Adam?
I
I
think
told
that's
you
the answer.
Hmm?
I think that's the answer. There will be an implosion.
It's not an answer.
She wants more of an answer, Adam.
Yes, don't give me the Republican answer. That's what I'm gonna just start calling them.
So, on the good news side, Orange Balloon is down 10 points in the polls.
Friend of mine said to me on Monday, "It's not us that need to have their minds changed and people like us that need their minds changed. It's the people that are in the Midwest who believe everything they hear on Fox. We don't have to change their mind. We just have to do what we do with Scientology. We just have to throw them a seed to work on.
We have to reach them.
Yes,
Yes.
then we're not going to reach them being the way we are now."
We're going to come to a screeching halt.
Because of money?
Uh-huh.
Don't you think it would have happened already?
Because they're stupid.
But it's like Bezos losing a butt ton of money in Amazon right now. Don't you think it would have stopped on Monday?
Uh,
That's the thing. It's not happening as fast as you think it would. Fascism always loses this way. Well, yeah, I bet. The only bad thing about this whole idea of ending that way is that China got their rich people to bring their money back into their country. So
yeah, but the bond market is a little fakaked right now.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about there were a lot of condos bought in San Francisco by Chinese businessmen. Lots. You can tell from Rincon Tower when you're driving in how like maybe 40% of it is filled and the rest of it's empty. So I know. So, but China said no more, no more buying things out of the country after a certain like $5,000 or something. So they had to park those things. I don't know where they parked them because it didn't get sold because the lights haven't changed. Um, so it's like they managed to say, "No, we want all of your finances back into the country." Um, who knows what he's telling the we call it the investor class, what's being trickled down to the investor class now. So We assume that we know everything, we don't know anything, unfortunately. I'm such a happy little person, aren't I?
Well,
Mm.
like Adam said earlier today, approval ratings still matter.
Not if it's not being advertised on the news channel that they're watching.
Mm. But once they dip below a certain level, it doesn't matter what the people who are still supporting him think anymore.
People can be filling out polls just because they're guilty. I mean, I don't give that much, I just don't give them that much. It's like, I haven't been able to tell because I haven't been around anybody who's a triple trumper right now because of COVID, and, so I don't know what it's like out there. It's quiet, that's for sure. Um, you can tell that we're in a recession because my neighborhood is quiet. My neighborhood has kids. Kids feed off their parents. So if the parents are upset, the kids are upset, and they usually I mean, it's beyond quiet here. Usually you hear a lot during kid time, and you don't. So if we had a world financial crisis,
Yeah. Yeah, he fixed it in the chat.
I don't think it'd be up to us to step in. I think we'd have no
Well,
choice.
normally the government, I mean, look, it's the US government who backs all the bonds. And
Mhm.
so if things get rickety enough that financial firms can't meet their obligations and other places can't meet their obligations, then we will have a meltdown similar to the housing meltdown, except it'll be all the way, or the Schwab brothers meltdown, except it'll be all the way across the whole economy. And the government won't be stepping in because they're fucking idiots. And they're not even doing anything now to consider the impacts of what they've created.
Well, I
So
think Nutlake
normally,
is.
huh?
Said I think Nutlake is. Remember, I can't pronounce his real name
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Um, because he was a long bond, and now they're being affected. If you saw, was it Trump's Oval meeting today where, oh, I don't know what the hell he was talking about. But if I remember right, Nutlake was there and he did not look happy.
I'm not quite sure what we do in that world, Adam. That sounds pretty dystopian.
Uh, I don't know, but we should have did something before that.
I
What's
don't
the
know that we'll
difference?
get the chance, but he's right. The wheels are coming off really fucking fast.
We have the
The,
chance
the,
right now. We've had the chance for 2 weeks.
this it, it's going to take longer than that. Where is it? I had this great video. Now I need to find it.
I'm going to say, remember the people who are driving this man, not his people, but the people who are driving this man don't have stocks and bonds. They don't have IRAs. So to them, this is all just imaginary money. Those
Right.
people you have to get to. What's a color revolution?
Say that again.
Adam said we have something comparable to a color revolution. What does that mean?
I don't know what it means. A color. We'll have something comparable to a color revolution. No, I'm just repeating what you've said. So let's talk about the good news. Well, no, this isn't the polls. This is the financial crisis. So let's talk about this for a moment. Let me share.
Go ahead.
I'm getting there. Slow today. Can you see it?
Mhm.
Worse. Yesterday, Bloomberg, noted lib, never Trump Bloomberg, had an editorial warning that there is a very real chance of getting an actual financial crisis, which is different from financial crisis is not a recession, right? A financial crisis is something very, very different, right? A recession is a chronic illness. A financial crisis is catching a virus which can kill you. And
I really love that analogy. I really love that analogy of a financial crisis. Well, what is that? Let's
Guess
go
what?
back here. Oh,
Yeah,
the Green
that's what it is.
Revolution.
After
Got
the
it
wall,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, Adam. Wasn't coming to mind.
Thing is that I saw them talking about idiot being a third term. There's something behind that because he won't live past a third term. So is it just to displace and put eyeliner boy there and so they could just do whatever from there?
I think I think the idea of a third term, I mean, look, somebody else said it better. The minute Trump says, "Okay, I'm going for a third term," Obama's going to say, "Okay, let's go."
But we don't know that. We don't. He has not said that he would do that.
You have a
Oh,
point.
Bob, I know he's threatening to fire the
I
Fed
know
chairman. The
he's
problem is
threatening to fire Jerome
he
Powell.
can't. It's
Well,
not it's
at the
not a
on the whole
fireable.
list of things that he can't do, how is this different?
He really can't.
Well, but they took apart the National Institute for Peace, which isn't even a governmental agency.
Fine, then let him.
Like, I,
What's his name? The one before him didn't leave for centuries because he couldn't. What are they gonna do? Take the National Guard and take him, have him take him? He can literally he can close the front doors to the Fed and they can't get in, honestly. So, right, it is improvisation. It's really creepy as hell. The guy doesn't know what the Congo is. Let's see. Oh, you know what we do hope for?
what?
Tesla to drop before 114 to below $114.
Why?
Margin call after 114.
Oh.
So that would be good. You want to talk about probably the economy changing? Have Tesla drop before below 114 and
What's
see what happens.
Tesla at right now?
I don't know.
Well, that's
Somebody was talking about it that they had to wait for it to that it would be out of his hands at 114. So
Google search away. And while we wait, oh, 241.37. It's got a ways to go.
it can drop overnight. Yeah, we will. And it's like everything can be a if this then that sort of thing right now. And it was sort of like what I was telling Papa Cat earlier. It's like we can't live That's not in the present. We have to live in the present, period, end of sentence, and start thinking of things to do now instead of saying, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? It's like, mm-mm, we can't do that anymore. It's a very good thing that Americans do is, you know, what if this happens and what if that happens? We have to get out of that. We really do and start living in the present.
Yes. That would
So
make a
that's
difference.
what?
That would make a difference.
Instead of saying, well, if this is a Republican, well, if this happens here, it's like, no, it's not a Republican. It isn't happening. Start turning the conversation to, well, this has happened. We're going to do this. It's not that
Right.
hard.
Right.
I'm really seriously tired of hearing anybody say anymore, if this was a Democrat, if he was black, if he was a woman, it's like, don't waste your time. That 10 seconds can be used for something else. Yes, we have to contingency plan. I understand that, but that's all we do. So it's not, and then we have to, first it's, we have to, but we're here. And it's like, that's, doesn't work anymore. We're still not contemplating or not living in the present and watching things fall apart that they are now.
Okay.
Sorry, I know it's this is what I get for watching it only for an hour. Think about it as watching it all afternoon.
Exactly. Did you catch that the Supreme Court is going to hear the case on birthright citizenship?
Done it. They've done 9-0 once before. It's possible they can do it again. Since all of the court now is pissed off at Orange Boy because he hasn't followed through. So
One assumes they're all upset with Orange Boy.
I think you can say that Kavanaugh would not be voting against the president ever.
I didn't expect that. Hey, Fab Daddy, sweetie, how are
Hi, Fab
you?
Daddy.
We have to know how we'll respond to a whole menu of possibilities. Yeah, you
Nope.
got to be running through. I mean, I've got another link I was going to show you.
I understand that, Adam, but that's all we're doing. We are not giving what's going on in the present. We just keep planning for what will happen in the future. It's like, no, no, we're here now. Get over it. What's the other clip?
The other clip, let me see. Find it. Hold on just a second.
Panic improvisation. It's the perfect way to put it, though, Adam. You can see him at his press conferences go. He practically moves when he like starts talking about something weird.
Legia Miller, have you watched her?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
She's pretty good. She did a whole video about is it time to leave the US? And she made a good argument about why.
Well, then, would you leave the U.S.
Would I leave?
if you
I
had the
don't know.
means?
Do I
Hmm?
have the means right now?
No.
No.
If you had the means, would you leave the U.S.?
Um, right now, probably not. But
Right.
that's the point that she's making in this clip
It's not to leave the U.S.
is that there is I'll drop the link because I don't have a clip queued up. There is a There is a lot of different things to take into consideration
That's a bizarre
about
chat.
it. I thought it was funny. It's
Thank you.
fascinating.
No, I didn't.
What movement, Adam? Temporal line epilepsy.
The thing he does, because he does.
Oh,
Yeah, I noticed it today when I kept watching. It was like every time he was about to say something incredibly stupid or non-knowing or anything, he has a little tick or a voice or something. It's really bizarre.
weird. Aaron, if you don't like it, why don't you leave? I don't want to be a victim of our foreign policy. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, okay, we'll leave the country. We'll still get affected by it because it's gonna bring down the whole world. So
I don't know. It would depend. Would I leave? It would depend on a whole lot of things. She's talking about, do you need to get the fuck out right now? Do you need to she put it on a ranking list, right? Do you need to get out right now? Do you need to keep your eyes peeled? Do you need to keep thinking about it? And what I got out of it was, she's like, if you're a woman, you need to keep your eyes peeled. People are going to cross over in several of these areas.
Mhm.
So I'm a woman, but I'm also a white upper middle class woman. So I feel because of my privilege, and that I'm less likely to be directly targeted, that it's incumbent on me to some extent to stay.
stay and fight the fight.
Now, I have a friend who 8 years ago made a completely different decision. She upended her life and moved to Canada.
That's
But
Canada, though.
she also had brown children.
And she was white,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it a lot more difficult
But her
for
husband is brown.
yeah, it's very bizarre how much people like pick on white women who have brown children more than like the
Oh yeah.
children.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So
I ran across go ahead.
are you gonna show the clip?
I don't know if I have one queued up. Let me look and see if I've got it queued up.
But yeah, that was the joke. This is Louis Vuitton. In the real world, it probably cost $100 to make. When it was sold originally, it was probably 14 or 1500. I got it for cheaper on the real. So it's like I keep saying, I'd rather speak Chinese than Russian if I have a choice. Yes, the
Yes.
Harvard pushback is positive. Very.
A Harvard pushback is positive. Yes. I
So
interrupted you again.
somebody brought up the student visa thing that they're trying, they've threatened to start taking away. Somebody brought up the perfect one. What about Israeli students? How do you do
Yes.
that and not be anti-Semitic? Which
Well,
you've
you can do it easily without being anti-Semitic, but they clearly don't think that, right?
just say that the ones from Israel can come in?
No. It's possible to say Israeli students can't come into America and
No, but,
not have it be an anti-Semitic policy. That's all I'm saying.
no, but it can be twisted into an anti-Semitic policy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing about the visas they were saying is it can be twisted into it and it'll put him in a different like space because he's being anti-Semitic.
Right.
Okay, show.
Absolutely.
To rank who should be fleeing the US, from get the fuck out to you are fine, including the news stories that I'm going to use to support my arguments because you know I always come with receipts. And this is not to make light of the situation, but instead because we have to laugh to keep from crying. We're having fun here. Let's get into it. Thank you to my partner on today's video.
So She did a whole ranking.
Okay. I take it it's long, though.
Oh, it's 25 minutes. We couldn't possibly watch the whole thing.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's 25 minutes.
Well, yeah, that's also the thing in my family. I have family that's whiter than you. So I have no clue about what real honest to God, I hate you because you're slightly tan, because I didn't have to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't leave the country. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but because, they're too busy wanting to take away the land from my ancestors. God, not even my ancestors, probably my cousins.
Right.
So
Right.
because of the minerals, it's like that whole thing, I can't even fathom at the moment because it's probably so far down on the list, which means it's probably 10, that I have at least a week.
So what else is on your list?
Oh, JD Vance and the Peasants.
The Chinese peasants?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Just the whole concept of peasants. Oh, we should boycott the mainstream news. That's what we should start doing. You want them to start paying attention to us? Start boycotting it for real. There's enough YouTube everywhere for people to watch.
oh, I don't watch, I mean, except for maybe MSNBC.
Yeah, see? No, nobody. We shouldn't watch anybody. We have to make it to where if the ratings dip, because they can't get rid of Midas no matter how hard they try. If the ratings dip, they'll start caring less about being sued. So, because there'll be nothing there to support them. So it's like it's such a bizarre concept. It would be, good night, Bob. Have a good
Good
night.
night, Bob. Sleep well.
It was such a bizarre concept to think, don't watch any of the news. Duh. And just watch it on YouTube because there are enough channels on YouTube now that they can do the job of mainstream.
Yeah.
So if we take his main propaganda arm away, or the people who are afraid of doing what he wants them to do, just stop watching them. Start sending them letters, just say, I'm not watching you. Bye. Email, no problem. It
That's a
is
good
just
thing to do.
boycott the boycott.
Boycott the boycott, indeed.
If that's what we need to do. I mean, hell, I can't go out on Saturday this year because I have COVID, or this week.
This week there is a demonstration on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is.
And people need to go to it. I would be there if I wasn't still positive today. So, because I figure I've got to have at least a day to feel
You're not
better.
going to spend $25 a day getting tested. I was all appalled. How do you test yourself? People can't just pop for $25 a test.
Yep, to find out if you're negative, it'd be about $100.
Right.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, you couldn't even get a whole bunch of them at the get-go because it'd all be expired. So it's definitely got us by, the scruff of our necks.
Fun.
So yeah, no, I took another one today. The first one I took was Tuesday. So yeah, I'll probably take another one tomorrow because I had some disappearing line thing, which, huh?
I would
What
rather
is that?
sleep on a cot than the ground. Boycott. It's a
Oh,
boycott. He's making a funny.
sorry, Fab Daddy. I still have COVID. Which you could tell in my voice.
Yes, I can tell in your voice.
I know I'm sounding fine more and more when I'm not talking, but it's the talking thing is making it worse. The next round of unemployment
Oh,
numbers.
yeah. When do the unemployment numbers drop next?
Probably in a year because
The
all those
first
people have
no,
been
no,
fired.
they drop every month.
No, because those people have been fired and nobody knows how to do it. They're not gonna be the employment numbers aren't gonna be real. I wouldn't think they're real at all. So,
May 2nd.
supposedly the FDA wants their ex people to come volunteer because they need people to inspect places.
We didn't have enough inspectors as it was.
Right. And so now they have even less, and so they're actually calling their inspectors and asking them to volunteer. If I was an inspector, I'd tell them to eat my shorts. Mhm. Because they actually know.
Volunteer?
Yeah, volunteer. Because they can't hire them right now.
Perone lasted for a while, didn't he, Adam?
I thought he did. I spelled
Off
I
we
s
go to Google.
I spelled it funny. I got Perone, Arkansas, which I know would be as backwards as Argentina then, but
So the first time he was there for 9 years and 3.5 months. And the second time he was there for 8.5 months. So my guess is Adam's referencing the second time.
but it took 20 years for him to get in the second time, so, the orange balloon is beating him on this one.
Fascist regimes last 12 years.
They last 12 years? Is this like
In
some kind of
general, on average, yeah. Yeah.
that's a bizarre statistic. So we haven't really started in a fascist
No,
regime yet.
you consider the Trump, I mean, Adam told me this number, if I recall correctly. Trump started from uh when he first was president.
I don't The first term it was curtailed by all the real politicians and people there.
Mhm. Why is it an accelerated timeline, do you think, Adam? Or more
Because
developed? Yeah.
I would believe the more developed democracy. That
Yeah.
that one I would go with.
Yeah. There is an expectation, like there is a culture of democracy. As much as Trump might want to be making that go away, you don't make that go away in an instant.
People are still going to work. There are still traffic jams. It's when people stop coming out into the streets is when we should, or when they stop doing their everyday worlds is when we should really start to worry about fascism. Not even fascism. The hell what the hell is this that he's doing? Taking something
Kakiocracy.
huh?
Kakiocracy.
Tachiocracy.
Kakiocracy. Kakiocracy.
Tachiocracy?
Kakiocracy. Yeah, let me spell it.
I'm surprised he's not doing 2 or 3, press thingies a day. I mean, every day it's he just gets dumber, and maybe he'll get to a dumb point where his own people who voted him in will just go, "Wait a minute."
I think that's how you spell it, kakiocracy. It's
Tachiocracy?
government of the stupid.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no, I'm hoping that he just no oh, I've heard about his visit that he
Oh
bent the
my
knee. What?
god.
What?
Yes. Fab Daddy, Bill
Explain.
Maher. guy.
I know. That's what I heard too. It's like was it Morning Joe going to visit him again?
Morning Joe at least seems to have come to his senses.
Oh, really? I haven't. But
I
yeah,
haven't watched. I don't watch, but
I never really watched them, so that's why I was
yeah.
sort of like hoping they'd get kicked off after that.
Kakiocracy, authoritarian incompetence. Yes.
Yes.
Bill Maher decided that Trump is such a fun fucking guy that it doesn't matter all the shit he does on the side. He's like that one friend of yours that you think is cool, even though he's a thief and a liar and a drug addict. But he's a
Uh,
fun hang. He's a fun guy to hang out with. And you don't think he's going to hurt you.
he's doing it for the ratings. I will bet you $1,000,000 he's doing it for the ratings because if Trump says he's a great guy, they'll start watching him. And was it HBO? Getting HBO and all this other shit. Mars as scummy as the rest of them.
Oh, I can't stand Mar.
Neither can I think the
Yes,
last
you
time I
did,
watched
fat
him was like
daddy.
5 years ago or something, and he just made
That
me want to
man,
itch. Yeah.
that man, I cannot with that man. The biggest asswipe.
He is the person that you're friends with because you've been friends with him since you were a kid, and he's a complete raging asshole in public.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But going with Trump and saying, oh no, he's not that guy. I mean, he fucking is that guy.
The thing is that it wasn't that important because people aren't talking about it anymore. So,
No,
he's not as important as
nobody
he thought
seemed
he
to
was.
care.
Hmm?
Nobody seemed to care.
Yeah, which is good because that means he's
Mhm.
not being some kind of lightning rod for anybody because nobody cared. I heard about it on Monday and then that was it.
Mhm.
So it's like he's probably really pissed off now that nobody cares.
Darn.
I know. Poor middle-aged white guy.
No, he's old. He's got 20 years on us.
Really?
Oh, at least. I've never met him in real life either. I just
It's like
Mar is an arrogant, like I don't get what the attraction is.
because he's an arrogant white guy. He's 69. He's 69 and people pay attention to him?
I told you he was that much older than, well, not 20 years, but
He's a boomer. What was that?
yeah, he's
What was
totally a boomer.
what was that?
What was what?
Sounded like a chime.
That was, boy, the pickup on my mic has gotten better. Hubby left his meeting and walked out of his office going to the restroom and knocked something.
It's the bathroom chime. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bathroom chime.
So, well, maybe that's why it was not such a big deal as it would have been 10 or 15 years ago because he's 69. And we want to get the old farts out of mainstream.
Yes.
It's like, I have no problem giving up the Gen X, we are running the world thing and letting the millennials have it because you know what? It should be that way. We should not be letting old people run our freaking country.
Well, I don't know. Gen Xers aren't old.
Yeah, we are.
We are elder Gen X. There is another 10 years of Gen X underneath us. We are not old.
Actually, there's 17 years because it's 20 years. The
Okay.
Gen X became Gen X in 1964. So, okay, then let me say the old farts here.
We're still relatively young, the Gen Xers.
I was having this conversation with my promoter friend about my age and being at the front door. It was like, yes, I understand that 60 is the new 40, but we got to get over this. Oh, I bet he does too. I bet he does. Ooh, gross. Yeah. Ooh.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And he probably would be back in the day, be the one put his hand on your knee. He'd be one of those. Totally
Yes,
can see
he
it.
would be. Well, he's always dating younger women, if I recall it correctly.
He's always been what?
Dating younger women.
Oh, oh.
And
I don't
he does
know.
he's not into marriage because he's just not, you know.
'Cause he's a narcissist.
Yes.
He can't think of loving anybody more than himself.
I mean, not that there are people who choose to be single, and that's a choice, and that's fine. If you don't want to get married, I get it.
He don't act
But
like one
that's
of the
not, I mean, this is like Elon Musk starting a family.
starting what?
I
His
mean,
legion?
yes, if you want to have a big family, that's cool. I have a big family. I have 4 children. That's a big family in America today. If you want to have a big family, that's cool. Elon is not making a family.
No, he's not. So, I mean, hell, you could just listen to his oldest and know that he's not. And the baby that he carries around now, or the toddler, he's a shield. He has nothing. When he's done with him, he'll be done with him.
I know. They're convenient.
Yeah. And what I think that I had it, chicks said, why does he sound like was it English is his second language?
Well, Elon,
Yeah, Elon Antoinette. He sounds like
probably because English is his second language. They speak Afrikaner is what they speak in South Africa. Afrikaans. And
actually it would
so
also be probably Dutch, but
no, it's Afrikaans.
his mother speaks perfect English.
He probably did what? Yes, I am Fab Daddy. All my husband and I, all my
All your husbands?
all my husband and I had to do was look at each other. I got knocked up
Sneezing.
with one fallopian tube and an IUD over the age of 40. Fertile Myrtle? Yeah.
Well, like I said, I was probably given a menopause if I liked it or not, because I'd be one of those weird women who would have a baby at 58.
Right.
Remember though,
I want to utilize your uterus.
I was going to say, but remember though, his junk is broken and he's artificially inseminating this woman, which is against the orange balloon with all that pro-life crap.
No, no, he's the father of fertility.
But it doesn't work. That's why it's been artificially inseminated. They said there's some kind of
No, I mean Trump. He's
oh,
promoting so much infertility treatments and everybody will be so fertile. He's the father of fertility. He said so.
I hope his name gets X'd out of history like AH's did. You don't see very many people named ADOLF anymore.
No, you do not.
Right. So let's hope. What's his middle name? What's Orange Balloon's middle name?
I have no idea. Hope springs eternal.
Yeah, no, but remember the pro-life people aren't into artificial insemination because it's not natural.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. For the longest time, I'm like, why aren't they? What you figured they would be because it would put more people. And no, somebody explained it one day and said it's not natural. The pro-life people are natural.
But but the natalists are different than the pro-life people.
Natalists?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Elon is a natalist. Natalist. This is a eugenics-backed theory that the people who need to breed are the good people.
All you needed to say was eugenics. Nah, yeah, I get it. And you know what? IQs are not handed down. As one of my mom's friends, who was also her boss at one time, said, "How did you and he wind up with 3 hyper intelligent children?" So, yeah, your IQ is not handed down through genetics. Sorry.
No, highly educated people. The right people, with the right color skin and the right education and the right breeding. I mean,
He doesn't have all of
we're
that.
gonna we want to repeal fucking birthright citizenship. Explain to me how we're gonna base citizenship if we repeal birthright citizenship.
I want to see him come after his own J6 freaks. Because they're gonna do it by accident, if that really happens. They'll do it more than they expected because they're gonna show up in, and police records
Right.
while you and I sit there and go, "So what's the big deal?"
Exactly. Exactly.
My dad hasn't told me to get in the house yet, so everything is still plausible. Eugenics. Eugenics just creeped the hell out of me when I finally decided to find out what that was. I think I was No, I was watching Boys of Brazil with someone once, and then they said that's eugenics, and then I went down the hill from there. So I was
Yeah.
about 22.
Eugenics is gross.
Yeah. IQ is handed down in old chests in the
In
attic.
the attic.
I didn't have an attic. There
Then
aren't
you
a
have
lot of
no IQ. You must not have an IQ.
attics in old California building houses.
Really?
Yeah, because they're usually just literally breezeways. Maybe about that tall. You see if you drive by the older houses and you see that square, that is the attic. So,
Interesting.
yeah, craftsman houses, things like that. I didn't have an attic growing up. Got an attic when I moved once, but yeah, never had one before. And
Well,
this
that's why
one
you
is
don't have an IQ. Now we know. It's all been cleared up. We have the answer, everyone.
I don't have an attic, so I don't have an IQ. One of these days, something's gonna get freaking tattooed on my arm. I know it. And it'll be the only thing I ever regret in my life.
I got a tattoo after uh nevertheless she persisted. Remember
Ah,
that? I got that tattooed. Some of
that's
the tattoo
actually
parlors were having fundraisers. So they did flash art with nevertheless she persisted.
that's cool.
So I went in and had that done. That was my first tattoo.
I need to have mine darkened, redone, whatever. So probably when I hit the weight and see what my arms look like. Yes, he was. I actually had that on VHS. My brother gave it to me.
Natalism is IQ.
Adam with a win.
Good job, Adam.
Ah.
IQ anon.
Yeah, I have been feeling completely out of the loop, and I can't wait to get to the org again. Why does IQAnon? Oh, that's why. So why did that remind me? Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Ah, so
Yeah.
yeah, Elon Antoinette, let's hope that his stock, well, if the stock goes crashing big time, it doesn't reach 114, he's going to have to do something. So he'll have to, his people will tell him that's it. They'll kidnap him in the middle of the night, because he's got
Fab Daddy.
so I want to make a assumption that you are about 72 years old.
I just got distracted. Have you heard from Cricket today? At all?
He wasn't on, yeah, he was on my stream.
No, he was not.
He was not?
Not that I noticed.
Meow? Was Cricket on the stream today? I thought he was.
Because I just realized I don't think I've heard from him all day. And he's not here.
I hate this part of the world. My brain went in a really bad direction when you said that, and I hate that.
Well,
I haven't had that feeling since the 80s.
no, Adam, I would agree with you. Thank you. I don't have my phone with me, or I already would have done it. I'm terrified of what they're unleashing.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think he was either, Cricket or Adam. Adam says these dummies have no clue what they're unleashing.
No, they don't. That's the
They're
problem.
unleashing the Kraken.
Kraken, not Kraken.
Kraken.
Last thing I have is yesterday at 12:33.
Yeah, maybe we should text him. Reed, maybe you should text him because I don't have my phone.
That's a feeling I never wanted ever again.
No, I understand. Hello, Lori. How are you, my dear? You inspired me to make a new batch of fudge this evening. Crack kills.
Crack kills. Not crack, Kraken. Kraken kills too. Hello, Lori. I texted him on the
I saw. I actually, as I'm thinking, I could have texted him. I just forget that I have that ability on my computer.
say PCs. Yeah, I don't know about Apples, but yeah.
No, on my Apple. You
On your
endorse
Apple.
texting him? Yeah.
Oh, we caught up to something. Okay.
On my MacBook, I get all my texts.
Yeah, you've been
They're
able
all on my
PC.
phone and my MacBook.
You've been able to do it on a PC for about, I think about 8 or 9 months because it drives me crazy. I leashed it when it first came out because I thought it was neat, and now it keeps doing it and I don't use it.
Right.
So, I mean, I know why Fuzz isn't here or wasn't earlier.
Boy, you're in rare form tonight, Fab Daddy.
What is wrong with you?
Always trying to get back there.
Huh?
Always trying to get back there. Men are something else.
He just reminds me of my dad sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I made an assumption in the 70s. So we'll see what's going on. Great. Now I have something to worry about.
Yeah. He'll text back.
Yeah. Probably said something we weren't paying attention to or something.
Yes, he probably mentioned it. So what else is on your list? You said it was long.
The El Salvador guy, Papa Cat showed you.
I heard this.
There's
This
a
is
picture.
excellent news.
Yeah, of the guy, the El Salvador guy, I guess, in his cities that he got arrested in, and he's still fat. So that's good. So they probably have him somewhere sequestered. There was a congressman, senator that went there, Democrat. They wouldn't show him yesterday, but today they did, and so they took a PR picture, and the guy is still stocky. Uh, he actually didn't look like, even from the side, it did not look like his smile was forced. So, and that is my sort of like theory about it, is that they'll keep arguing about him as long as he's alive. Once, if he does die, then they will say he's dead. That way it won't be up anymore. And the El Salvadoran president won't kill him. So there's something going on, because you figure that guy would have no problem going back home and just going and getting rid of him. So I have a feeling he's not even in a main cell, that he may be somewhere by himself, because they've had him for what now, a week or something. He should have looked gaunt, even that short period of time. So I was very happy that he was chunky.
I'm just pleased as punch that they actually allowed this.
Yeah, see, there he is.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, so they have him in his the outfit he came in, but they kept it. That should also tell you something, that they kept the outfit that he went there with, so they are expecting to send those people back. Otherwise, they would have burned their clothes already.
At least we know he's alive.
Yes, at least we know
And at
he's alive.
least he knows that there's some hope.
Yes. Someone did try this morning. There were it was one of our people, I can't remember who it was justifying why he got arrested. Um, and it does feel like 1985. Totally, Adam, it totally feels like 1985 again. Um, they were saying that he
We need some Bananarama.
what?
For
What?
1985, we need some Bananarama.
I want my banana colored no, they weren't banana. The yellow, the dark yellow stilettos. I used to practically run in those. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say now. Must not have been important.
El Salvador in 1985.
No, it was something, I distracted myself with that. It was something else. But no, like I said, they would have burned his clothes if they didn't expect him back.
Yeah.
His clothes even look washed. So,
They
um,
looked washed and pressed.
so something is going on that we don't know about, which is, I guess, good or bad, that the president of El Salvador hasn't killed him. So, because I have a feeling this guy would not have a problem doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, it will likely be a cruel summer.
There you go. Oh,
So
and then Florida State. How about Florida State?
I couldn't hear him, thank God. Because I was watching, bits and pieces from that press conference he had, and I couldn't hear what he said about Florida State, thank God. I probably would have lost my freaking mind, but pretty much just blew it off. You're missing the comma.
Venus was hot. Yes, she was.
Weren't we supposed to have the solar flare here already?
I got notices yesterday that maybe the northern lights visible.
Yeah, because we were arguing on mine yesterday about it not being as horrible as it could have sounded. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the strongest solar flare since 2005. Oh my God. On space, rare cannibal solar eruption sparks severe geomagnetic storm and stunning auroras. Cannibal? No wonder people are freaking out.
Cannibal?
That's what it said. It's in the top stories of my Google. Let's see, who is this? Come on. Space.com. I just read the number one story there is China rolls out rocket for Shenzhou 20 astronaut launch. I read it as shenanigans 20 astronaut launch. So, it's actually a positive space IRL webpage. Said hidden solar cycle is awakening, but more extreme space weather over the next 50 years may not be a bad thing.
Song about him, I'm assuming.
Okay. I wouldn't expect it from him, honestly. Since he was a real actor, he probably listened to classical music. He seems to be from that genre. He's such a good actor that all he does is read Shakespeare and listen to classical music, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which is crap, but won't want to admit it. Even though back then he should have. They were hot.
Yeah?
He hasn't answered yet. Your turn. You've been to China, you cheat. Actually, I think they probably wouldn't have a problem with Americans right now because supposedly they're giving us a tax-free 72 hours or something like that to go shopping. And I'm just like, totally, I'll totally go there and get all of the fake bags I want, made by real people. Papa Cat's here. Are you just being annoying? Be careful your cough. Don't talk. He has a cough.
He has a cough.
Yeah, he does have a cough. So, it's a phlegmy COVID, this one, very much not in my chest. It feels like it's right here. And it's been clear the whole time. It's really weird.
I
So,
was sure last time I was sick that I had COVID. I was so sick.
the
Remember
same,
I
but
went to the ER that day?
yeah,
So sick. Nothing.
you
They tested me for everything. I just had a
not even
regular
the
plain old cold.
not even the plague, huh?
Not even the plague. No.
No. Well, you saw my worst day. My worst day was Saturday. Was Saturday? The one where I was just totally giddy. That was my worst day. So it's stuck around, like hanging in the back of my throat, and I'm really tired. Um, but yeah, it doesn't seem to like you pop a fever on this one big time.
I don't like
Him and I
fever.
both did it where it was like just we were sweaty. So finally got it. Venus was hot poo toddy.
Yes.
It took me a minute. Oh. So, what else? The Congo.
The
Ah,
Congo.
he doesn't know what the Congo is.
How do you not know what the Congo is?
He said, Africa, the Congo. I don't know what that is, but that is a word. No, he said Africa. Yeah, he just said, yeah, many people come from there, but I don't know what it is. Can you believe it?
People come from there, but I don't know what it is.
That's geography. That's stuff that's when you're a kid and you get a globe and you play the geography game. That has nothing to do with any class whatsoever. So maybe if he keeps making enough stupid remarks that would include his own people's, um, salary structure, I can't believe there aren't Trumpers tonight going, he doesn't know where the Congo is.
There are 2 Congos?
The one that used to be Zaire is one of them. Forget what the other one is.
He still should know what the Congo is. One is Democratic Republic, and other one being the Republic of Congo. So
There are
they
2 Congos?
Yep, they split. I don't know when they split though, but it says there's the Democratic or not the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and the other one is the Republic of Congo. And now they're
Okay.
yeah. But still, he should know what the fuck Congo is. Did I say that?
The
Sorry.
Republic of Congo and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Not the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Ah.
So yeah, I don't know what that is. He still thinks groceries is a word he made up. That's what Publican said today.
Groceries. It means everything you buy for food. Did you realize that? He had to define that for people.
He does say it
Explain-
like he made the word up though. He does.
We tell her we're smart.
Yeah, when you have to tell everybody you're smart, you're not smart. Ah.
The
Phlegemi,
Belgians and the
COVID,
French
open.
being at it again, huh?
Ah, okay, that actually makes a lot more sense then, since they do not like each other. The Hercule Poirot thing is a joke based in fact.
Yes.
So
Although I am quite fond of that little Belgian man.
I love that little Belgian man. I love him with the I bought a few seasons of that one, Hercule Poirot.
I love Hercule Poirot.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of seasons of his. I love him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Uh,
I think, Adam, you recommended The Residence, which is on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix anymore.
Oh. It was good. But you only watch canceled shit.
Oh yeah, remember I'm not supposed to watch anything.
Yeah. How do you only watch canceled shit?
Well, I also find something that's what a lot of documentaries are about. And a lot of documentary
The
series.
Belgians killed more people than the German. Yes, it's just that the Belgians killed them in the Congo.
Yeah, no, I watch a lot more nonfiction because I figure I can always catch up. The only thing I've ever watched that didn't get canceled was Gilded Age. They announced a new season after I started watching it.
Ah.
Everything else, nope.
That is
Another-
Orion barking at child number 4, who he can hear from all the way across the room.
He talks like a gossip columnist.
Who?
The orange one. I swear to God, he could be on TMZ the way he was talking in the Oval Office. You know, how I don't like this person. They're not smart. Da. He sounded like, I don't know, Rona Barrett or something. That's what I got like totally out of that. It was like, dude, they're going to be tuning into you just because it's political gossip, because it's stuff you're making up. Makes about as much sense.
Well, yeah, he makes no sense because he's making it all up. Petticoat
Yeah,
Junction.
that was the
I've
last thing I
never
wrote.
watched Petticoat Junction. What was the one? The Wild Wild West. I loved the Wild Wild West.
Which one was? I don't think I saw that one or heard of that one.
That was with Robert Conrad. And they did a remake of it. They made a movie. Will Smith made
Yeah.
a movie.
I know the Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
That one I liked.
It was a great kind of sci-fi cowboy steampunk.
Mhm.
The original was really good. The movie was
I loved the movie,
if you liked the movie, you would really like the show.
which is bizarre because I don't do, Westerns, which drives the dad nuts because he can't talk about television with me because he's really big into Westerns right now. Hedda Empty. I should start calling him Hedda.
Hold on just a sec.
Okay. No, but it is. It sounds like a gossip columnist. They're stupid or, we don't talk to you or it's just so bizarre. There's the things that come out of his mouth he just tosses off. It's like, dude, I mean, I know you've decimated the respect of the presidential office, but do you have to keep going? I don't understand any relation to Hedda Lettuce. He's sitting right here too. He thinks he's funny and he can't talk. Oh God, the Carter comment. I gotta wait for it to come back for that one.
Okay, I'm back.
Carter died because he wasn't the worst, or Carter died happy because he wasn't the worst president. That's what he said today.
Carter died happy because he wasn't the worst president.
Yes, he said that Biden was the worst president, and why Carter died happy was because he wasn't the worst president. Carter wasn't the worst president.
Oh, because Biden was in office, so he knew he wasn't the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I wish a tooth would fall out for him mentioning, a front tooth would fall out for him mentioning one of my favorite presidents.
Yeah.
He was so good. He was too smart for the office. See, we've gotten the other way now. In our lifetime, we've had the smartest president and the dumbest president.
Yeah, he was too smart for the office. That was the problem. He wasn't as good a man as he wasn't a great president.
No, he wasn't a great president, but he wasn't the worst by a long shot.
No, by a long shot, no. I mean, you still grade him at an A or a B level. Like if we were going to grade the presidents on a superior to F scale, Carter would still get an A or a B, solid B.
I think he'd be a C, unfortunately, because he didn't know how to do public relations. So
But
that
for
was
the actual things he did for the country.
what he did for the country was great, but it also has to have his public persona that has to go with it. So, and he wasn't good at that. So, it's like, but at least Khomeini thought he was a threat because otherwise he wouldn't have, did what he did. He thought Reagan wasn't as much of a threat. That should tell us something.
Right. Right.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the press should not go in to one of his goofy ass Oval Office things because the one thing that's going to get him the most is ignoring him. That's also why I said we should stop watching mainstream media.
Well, I've been saying this since the jump. I've been saying this since the escalator. You don't think any president gets an A?
The escalator, I think, shocked me. The reaction from the escalator was just so bizarre that I had because I was just like, it confused me. It really did.
Well, since the escalator, I've been saying stop giving the man attention. I mean, you're just the free press that this man gets. Oh my goodness gracious.
Billions of dollars of free press.
Yeah.
And still gets it because everybody still goes to the Oval Office.
Yes.
That should tell them something is that the people who don't go into the Oval Office have the highest ratings. The Midas boys.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if we could figure out how to ignore him without the country sliding into hell.
Well, we can't ignore him now.
No.
I mean, it's unwise to ignore him at this stage in the game.
Oh yeah, no, he's talks like a gossip columnist, boycott news. The quickly thing, Zebras. I didn't finish. I didn't finish watching the I Had It chicks today because that was going to be the Zebro thing about how they didn't pay attention to the Zebros and that's how they all wound up for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think, you mean we had to pay attention to white men again?
Mm-hmm.
That they all hated their mother, that's why they voted against her. No, she didn't say, "Can I give you all a participation trophy?" And now they're all mad because you know what? He's doing what he said he'd do.
He's doing what he said he'd do.
He hasn't. He didn't lie
Everybody
about it.
ran off with this idea. Oh, he's a changed man since the shooting. He's so much different than he used to be. He's calming down. It's having a calming effect.
But he didn't. He had been worse. Watching him was like, because of course we watched him at the beginning because we were all interested. He didn't lie at all. He
Right.
told the plain truth of, "I'm going to make you all suffer." Cruella Parsons. No, that's JD Vance.
JD Vance. We're going to have to wrap at an hour and a half today.
Okay.
My back has been in a lot of pain and I don't know
Ooh.
why.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm probably running
Well,
on
I've
fumes
got a
myself.
guess.
You got a guest?
I've got to guess why my back has been hurting. I've got a lift from my wheelchair in my car. So it goes in and out.
Mhm.
It's supposed to go in and out and lift my wheelchair down to the ground for me. It is busted.
I know, I thought we were gonna try to do or I had mentioned that we should do a fundraiser for you.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Probably,
So
well, it
it's
was right after you did it. You were probably not paying attention.
okay. It's busted and they may not make parts for it anymore. Which would mean a whole new lift. Anyhow,
You're not
what
gonna be
that
able to get
means
a
in the
subsidy
short
for it.
term, right? In the short term is I've been having to disassemble my wheelchair. It disassembles into 3 parts
Right.
and lift it in and out of the car. And it's not necessarily heavy, but it
Is it
is
cumbersome?
cumbersome and bulky, and it's not light either, right?
Right.
So
You're not standing correctly. You already have something wrong with you, and it's starting to make your back hurt.
yeah, it's tiring me out. And,
So,
this twice a week this twice a week treatment is with school added on is kinda
oh God, yeah. So you're having your semester from hell, basically.
I'm having my semester from hell. I've gotta be at class at 9 o'clock in the fucking morning. 9 o'clock in the morning. Who does that?
Normal people, just because you're a vampire, Missy.
And, yeah. And then I've gotta work and then, treatments. It's another 20 hours a week of scheduling that I put into my schedule that wasn't there last quarter.
Well, how long is a quarter? 3 months?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. And we've gone 2, 3?
We are at the end of week 3.
Okay.
So there are 7 weeks left.
Well, you're the positive one, so think of the positive side. It'll be over in 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I know. How dare I be positive?
It'll be over in 7 weeks, and
It'll
then
be
I
over
will
in
be all done.
yes. And it'll have the beautiful Oregon summer that you'll
Hopefully,
have.
it'll be beautiful. We'll see what the job situation is. There aren't very many jobs out there right now.
Sort of competing with people who have been in the government.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So, yeah. Make your streams more
okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Try to get the people in. Don't know how to do that, but let's try to get the people in.
Okay, guys. With that said, thank you for coming by. Thank you for seeing us. We'll see you again next week.
And think of other
Hopefully,
things.
we'll have even better news. Maybe what do we bank for predictions? You think his approval ratings will drop another 10 points?
Oh God, yeah, that's easy. A real prediction would be that Musk disappears overnight. I don't mean in a bad way. I mean like he'll pop up somewhere else, but all of a sudden he won't be in DC ever again.
Trumpland?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
They were talking about Ron Deltas today, how he's broke and he's been tossed aside by Trump and how Giuliani had been tossed aside. It's like
Everybody gets tossed aside.
the young ones
Trump's
just get to climb out of it.
Elon's a little different, but we will see.
We can always hope.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Bye.